Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. I'm a little bit tired, and I probably look a little tired. But it's all good, man. It's all good. I'm a little bit tired, but we're going to talk about these Knicks draft prospects anyway. Tonight, we're going to talk about Anthony Edwards. And we're going to talk about, and thanks to my man Andy, who helped me pronounce his name, we're going to talk about Deni Avdija. See, I got it right, from Israel. We're going to talk about him. And we're going to break it down. You know, listen, we don't know if the Knicks are going to be in a position to draft either one of the guys. But in case they are, let's talk about them and get it right. So let's bring these guys on over here, man. We got Andy in the chat. We got Aunt G in the chat. We got Isaiah here in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go ahead and get this thing popping. Hopefully these guys are ready to start a nice weekend. You know, Andy, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
Yo, what's up, Paul? I'm fine. A little bit tired, but happy to be on with you guys.
Yeah, man, I'm a little bit tired myself. Messing around doing this basketball court all day long. You know, it's got me a little bit tired, but hey, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. Once it's done, you know, it's gonna be right. Isaiah, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, what's going on, Sim? You know what? I'm a little tired too. I might take a nap during the chat. Don't worry. I'll sleep for you and Andy.
Yeah, that's that's usual business right there. So there ain't nothing to that.
Nah, yeah. But you know, everything is good, man. Still working, thankfully. I don't know how, but and I hope my boss don't see this, but we're still working. So you know, everything's good though, man. Can't complain.
You said you don't know how, and you hope your boss don't see this. Why you hope your boss don't see it? Are you supposed to not be on YouTube right now?
Oh, no, I just don't want him to get any ideas and be like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be working.
Oh, okay.
I don't want no ideas, but you know what, man? Shout out to Andy for pronouncing that. Is it D? What is it, Dino?
Avdija, man, Avdija. Angie, what's popping with you, man? Avdija, man. Angie, what's popping with you, bro? How you feeling, Angie?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited about this show because these are two guys that I think are worthy of our consideration.
Okay.
I think Deni, I just call him Deni. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce the last name, but I think Deni. I don't think a lot of Knicks fans are really caught up on him or know much about him, but I think he's probably has like top 3 most upside in the top.
No, he's a fake Luka Doncic.
So I'm interested to see what everybody thinks about him.
That Deni kid from Israel or something like that.
You know, I'm not sure what to think about him. I'm not sure what to think about him, but I know. You know, I can only look at the limited games and highlights that I found on YouTube. You know, when you try to find his stats, I mean, the way things are in the Euro leagues. They play in so many different leagues, you know, you don't know what league you're getting stats from. So I didn't even put any stats for him, right? I didn't, because, you know, there's so many different leagues that they're playing in. I didn't put any stats for him. But we'll talk about him. We're going to start off with Anthony Edwards, all right? Before we get to Anthony, before I bring you guys in, I just want to go over some of the, some information on Anthony Edwards. Guillermo, what's popping with you, man?
Yo, what's good, Sam? How you doing, man?
I'm good. You ready for the weekend to start?
I mean, yeah, ain't nothing gonna change. I'm gonna be stuck in this damn house anyway. But yeah, man, I'm ready for. I'm ready for anything sports wise, man. I'm about
hey! Tomorrow,
this NFL draft can't come soon enough.
I mean, we're stuck in the house, but tomorrow night, the RZA, DJ Premier, they're gonna battle, so that should be pretty dope. That's something to look forward to.
Yes, 9 p.m. man. That's gonna be. Yeah, that's going to be ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I can't wait for that one.
Yes,
and
sir.
Speaking of hip-hop music, ladies and gentlemen, directly after this show at about 11:55, I'll be on the front stoop, and we're going to be reviewing Cormega's new album. Cormega dropped the album at midnight called Mega. It's an EP, actually, not an album. It's an EP. All right, so we're going to check that out. So, if you're not subscribed to the Front Stoop, please do so now. Putting the link in the video in the YouTube chat, and it's also in the description of this video. All right, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and as soon as I'm ready, you'll be notified, and we'll go ahead and we'll break down this Mega album. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna listen to a couple of the songs and break it down. But before we get to that, we got to talk about some of these draft picks. Let's start with Anthony Edwards, ladies and gentlemen. He's young, right? He's very young. He's 18 years old. He won't turn 19 until August the 5th. So he's going to be very young coming into the league. Very young coming into the league. He's a freshman, played for Georgia. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. All right, he was raised by his brother and his sister because his mother died when he was, I think, maybe 10 years old, and his grandmother died when he was around the same age. I think they died like 15 months apart. Or within 15 months, he lost both of them. He wears the number 5 because they both died on the 5th day of the month. Why he wears number 5. So he was raised by his siblings. All right. That says a lot about him already, in my opinion. It's easy for a young man or woman to go off track, when you're raised by your siblings, and I don't know how old his siblings are, but that's tough to deal with when you lose people like that in your life at such an early age. But for him to be where he is, and we, for all intents and purposes, we haven't heard anything about his character, anything negative about his character, or anything negative about him. We haven't seen anything like that. Social media, things like that. At least I haven't, it's not to my knowledge. So I think that's a testament to him right off the bat. Right off the bat. Last season at Georgia, he averaged 19.1 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game. He averaged 2.8 assists, 1.3 steals, 2.7 turnovers per game. He shot 40% from the field, or 40.2% from the field, and 29.4% from three. He also shot 77.2% from the free throw line. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with you, just real quick before I get into his strengths and weaknesses. I really do like this kid. When you watch him, when you talk about, there's certain players when you watch, like for example, the first time I ever seen John Wall, right? And I seen his speed, and I was like, this dude is even fast on TV. He's even fast when I'm watching him on television. You know that's real. When I watch this guy play, and I'm not talking about his speed, I'm just talking about there's something about him that attracts me to him when he's on the floor. Through the television and all. Through the television and all. Something about him that just attracts me to him that makes me want to see what he's going to do. That's a characteristic not many people have. Right? Some people just look like they're just out there. You know, all of a sudden you look up and they got some numbers. They do a few things here and there, but for some reason, maybe it's just me, I'm watching them like glued to see what's going to happen. He's an explosive athlete. Right? This guy can, a couple of steps outside the lane, he'll take off and bang it on you. Explosive athlete. He has good control of his body as well. And that's, to me, especially he's 18 years old, I think that's rare. He has really good control over his body. Can take a bump and still manage to find a way to get the ball up. Especially for an athlete, a guy that is bouncy the way he is and can get up the way he is and can explode the way he is. Sometimes you get guys like that and they can explode, but they can't control themselves. Right? He can explode like he wants to go up, but then notice someone's there and change it. Right? Or take the bump and still get the ball up. Really good control over his body. He has good instincts and good feel for the game. When I say good instincts, it's like, he's coming up the floor and there's a defender there and quickly can cross it over, go between the legs, or, a quick in and out and go past. Whatever it calls for at the moment. He doesn't have to think about it, or he doesn't have to go to a move that he's been practicing. He just goes to whatever move comes naturally for the situation because he has those good instincts. good feel for the game. He knows when to cut. Right? Backdoor cut, shake your man off, backdoor cut. Slash through the lane. He's got a good feel for the game. Of course, he's a natural scorer. We've all seen it. He's a natural scorer. Listen, he's got areas of development and things to work on, but he is a natural scorer. Has natural scoring abilities. He can be a playmaker. Some area that, he's got some room to grow to be a playmaker, but he can be a playmaker. And then I think the biggest thing of all is this kid exudes confidence, man. And maybe that's the thing that attracts me to him when he's on the floor, is that he exudes confidence no matter where he is, what he's doing. You can see he's looking to see, okay, where am I going to get into the next play? Right? How can I be effective? Because he knows he can be effective. He exudes confidence. So you're never going to have to worry about him having the Kevin Knox syndrome, right? Where, you can literally see that Kevin Knox has lost confidence in his game. You're not going to have to worry about that with Anthony Edwards. Areas of development. Where's he got to develop? Well, and I see GP in the chat say natural score and then laugh because he shot 29.4% from the game from three. Understand something. A natural scorer, Michael Jordan was a natural scorer, and he did not always shoot a high percentage from the three-point line. Okay? Let me bring myself over here while I explain this to you, my man. Right? Percentages don't always have to do with being a natural scorer. Right? Because Michael Jordan didn't shoot the greatest percentages from three. But guess what? When you needed a bucket, who was you going to? You was going to Michael Jordan. Right? You was going to Michael Jordan developed a three-point shot later in his career. So you can laugh at the 29.4% from three. But let's put it like this. The shot is not broken. He has good form. He has a good foundation. He gets great elevation on his shot. Watch him shoot the jumper. Now, he's got to work on the mid-range game, but watch him shoot his jumper. He gets good elevation when he needs to. Right? These are things that will definitely help his shooting percentage, my friend. All right. Yes, he is a natural scorer. Percentages does not always mean percentages doesn't have anything to do with it. He's 18 years old. That's going to grow. That's going to get better. He is a natural scorer. He can score the basketball from any place on the floor. I can guarantee it. He's got footwork. He's got the fundamentals. He's got the foundation. Any move that you ask him to do, I guarantee you he can do it. I guarantee you, if you show it to him 2 or 3 times, he can do exactly what you just did. That's a natural scorer, my friend. Okay? Understand that. Now let's talk about his areas of development. Okay? He's got to develop a mid-range game, like I just said. He'll sidestep and shoot and knock down a three. He'll get all the way to the cup. But very rarely does he get in, boop, 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 and then pull up and knock it. But that's an area, that's an area where he can develop. And part of that is the way the game is played today. That's the game today. The game today is you're either at the basket or you're shooting a three. Some of the guys that elevate their game can knock down that mid-range. I'd like to see him be able to get a nice pull-up, a nice floater. If he can knock down that mid-range, yeah. I think more movement off the ball. When I watched a few of his games, and there are times when he, stands and watches, when he could be running off a screen or cutting baseline or doing some things like that, kind of floating around the box, looking to see who's going to do what, wondering where people are going to go with the ball. All right. That's okay. That's okay. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. He's just got to learn. I think he's got to learn how to move off the ball a little bit more. He's good at cutting. He knows when to cut. He knows when to flash, those type of things. He's just got to work on some more of that off-ball movement, I think. He's got to continue to develop as a playmaker. Right? While he can be a good playmaker and he makes some plays for other people, he needs to continue to develop in that area of the game. And then, like my man said, his field goal percentage and shot selection. Yes. He has a low field goal percentage. He shoots 40.2% from the field, 29.4% from three. He's got to grow in that area. Like many players coming out of college have to grow in that area. And I believe he can and I believe he will. He's going to have to put in the work to do it. All right? He's going to have to put in the work to do it. But all in all, this kid can ball. This kid has a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that other players don't have. Just a lot of stuff to him. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to seeing him play in the NBA. And if I'm the Knicks and I have the number 1 pick, I think really, really hard at taking this guy, even over LaMelo Ball. I think about which one. It'd be tough for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be looking in and thinking, okay, which one do I take? And I'm gonna have to think a lot about it. Because this guy has some things. He has some dog in him that you need. And people ask the question, well, what about RJ Barrett? Well, RJ Barrett can play the 3. As a matter of fact, I think RJ Barrett would do very well at the 3. And put this guy at the 2. RJ Barrett's what, 6'7", 6'8"? He can play the 3. RJ Barrett doesn't have lightning quick speed. Do we expect that RJ Barrett for the rest of his career is going to chase 2 guards around screens all day long? I don't think that's going to happen. RJ Barrett doesn't have that kind of speed. He doesn't have that kind of speed. As RJ Barrett grows and gets, he gets bigger and he grows into his adult body, he may more than likely be a 3-man in the NBA. Right? He's probably that now. So you get Anthony Edwards, you put him at the 2, you put RJ at the 3. Now you're going to have to worry about shooting for a couple of years. You have to worry about shooting. But let me say this. Put these 2 guys and Frank together. Right? You put these 2 guys and Frank together. And no, they can't shoot worth a lick. But I guarantee you they work together to develop that jump shot. All 3 of them. And, maybe Frank doesn't become the starting point guard. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, Frank and RJ are already kind of close. Bring him in there, because of his, he has that dog type of mentality. Like I seen somebody say, he's a guard version of Mook. Well, Frank took on that persona. Frank took a lot from Mook while he was here. Frank took that to heart. That whole, I'm a dog too. Frank took that to heart. RJ already has it. This guy already has it naturally. Listen. It's going to be a long shot for us to have that number 1 and number 2 pick. You know what I'm saying? T. Williams says, stop with the Frank talk. Hey, I'm just speaking the truth, bro. I'm just speaking the truth. Frank, this guy, and RJ, while shooting would be horrendous, at least for a little while, they would bring something to the table that we haven't seen as far as, having that kind of defensive nature, that dog type of nature, that, I'm out to get you type of nature that you want to bring to the team. We'd have to do something about the shooting. I know. I get it. Anyway, I like this kid, man. And eventually we're going to do a New York Knicks big board. And, instead of a mock draft, a lot of places do mock draft. Well, we're talking about the Knicks, right? So I want to do a New York Knicks big board and who's at the top of our board and going all the way down to that 27th pick. Anyway, let me get to these guys, to the video chat. see what these guys think about Anthony Edwards. I seen somebody ask me if Anthony Edwards and Obi were there on the board at the same time, who would I take? Anthony Edwards without a doubt. No doubt in my mind. If Anthony Edwards and Obi on the board together and it's our pick, easy. I'm taking Anthony Edwards. That's an easy one. All right, let me get to my guys, man. Andy, I'm coming to you first, bro. Coming to you, man.
God, they took
Andy,
out
yeah.
Talk to me, man.
You just really chopped up for me. I don't know why.
I'm chopped up still. All right.
Oh, let me get these guys.
Yes.
Andy, you there?
Yeah. Now I'm here,
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah, now
go
I
ahead.
hear you fine. Well, Sam, about Edwards, I can't say many things about him. I only saw like 30 minutes of video on him on YouTube, and that's not highlights. Because I barely watch highlights. I always try to find some scouting reports so I see the strengths and the weaknesses. At least someone who got balls to say something bad about these players. Well, definitely I would pick Edwards over Deni. That's for sure. I like what you said about him, about the strengths, that he's confident and stuff like that. I think he would mesh with this current Knicks roster better than Deni for sure. I remember Mark saying months ago that this is the kid we should draft. Only bad thing about this, I don't think we're going to be that high in the draft to have a shot at him.
I mean, that's more than likely correct. I mean, I think the Knicks have a 50%. Right now, we're slotted in at, what is it, the 6th pick? And we have a 50% chance of getting the 7th or 8th pick or something like that.
We have 37.2% to be top 4. So it's not that bad, but
I mean, 37.2% chance to be top 4. That's not that bad, really. That really isn't that bad.
Yeah, that's not that bad, but I'll still think we're gonna have the our luck, and we're not gonna be that high.
I mean, you're probably right. You know what I'm saying? You're probably right. We probably are not going to be that high. But just in case, and maybe the Knicks end up liking the kid so much, they make some moves. They pull some moves to try to get him.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Sim. From all the prospects I saw, and I saw like the top 10, let's say, I think he might be my number 1 on my big board.
On your big board.
Yeah, he might be number 1.
Yeah. Are you saying number 1 overall or number 1 for the Knicks?
Overall number 1. If we had number 1, I think LaMelo might be the number 2, but I don't think it's even close. I'd still go with Edwards if I had the chance.
Okay. All right. Isaiah, I'm coming to you, man. I hope you're ready, Isaiah. He's got his palm up to the screen, folks. Go ahead, man. Isaiah, go ahead, man. Talk to me about
You're talking about Anthony Edwards?
Talking about Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, man. Anthony Edwards, man. He's a player, Sim, that
We can't see your
He
face, man.
reminds
You got to
me-
fix the camera.
I'm
We can't see
sorry.
your face.
you see my face?
Yep.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, man. I was watching some draft tape on him. His shot selection is really bad, but everything else he does, man, is pretty well, man. He just has to be a better passer. I think he was a little selfish in college, and he played a lot of hero ball. But the passing is there. He can do it. Defensively, he was lazy because he could be a really good defender, but he was definitely lazy. I do see that he can be. He could be really good in the league. I don't see what a lot of people see with pairing him with RJ. I don't really see that meshing really well, as some people believe it will. But I mean, if we're in the top 3, man, and then LaMelo's with the ball, I'll definitely take Anthony Edwards. But I'm not the biggest fan of pairing him with RJ. But yeah, I like him. He's a go-getter. He's a self-starter.
Well,
So,
tell me
this point-
why you're not a big fan of pairing him with RJ. Is it because of the Is it because they need the ball in their hands, both of them? Is it because they shoot they cannot shoot from deep.
What is it? For me, it's more of the shooting. And they're kind of, I don't want to say they're kind of the same player because I know RJ is more of a more willing passer than Edwards. But I don't know, man. Just the shooting is just like, so people gotta put this in realistic. If we draft Edwards, right, Sim? More than likely, okay, that's Edwards starting, RJ starting. Most likely Mitchell's going to start next year, maybe. That's 3 people out of your 5 that don't shoot.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Then,
you're right.
Let's say hypothetically, you got Frank, or maybe you draft a point guard. So you're going to have a rookie or Frank starting, Mitchell Robinson, Edwards, and RJ. There's no spacing.
I mean, I get it. I understand. But how much do you say this is our foundation? We are going to allow them to develop the spacing, because both of those guys can shoot the ball. It's not like they don't have the ability. They're just not accurate right now. Right? So do you throw out talent that could change your franchise simply because right now they can't shoot?
Is that one more time, Sam?
I said, do you throw out talent that could potentially change your franchise because at this moment you would not be able to put shooters on the floor? Or do you draft them and say, you know what? We're going to work on both of these guys developing into shooters, or guys that can shoot the ball. They don't have to be shooters, but not down shooters, but guys that can shoot.
I would have to go to the latter of that, putting the talent out there and hope they develop. Because I will say this though, RJ was getting better shooting towards the end of the season. He was in a real good, comfortable rhythm of shooting. I would hope for the latter, somewhere that they can both. If we throw the talent out there, they can definitely learn how to be a better player and better players and everything.
Right. And again, I'll say, now shooting. A lot of people equate, making threes to spacing the floor. That's not. It's not always that you've got to make threes to space the floor. Sometimes spacing the floor has to do with where you stand on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I understand that too.
And even if you only shoot 30% from 3, if you have the ability and you have good form, then your defender's at least going to respect it. You know what I'm saying? And if you have players who are doing the right thing, where when they penetrate, they kick it out to that 3-point shooter, right? Making it or not, you're just doing the right thing. Doing the right thing is important, right? Just doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing, right? Make it or not, you do the right thing. Eventually, it'll fall. But that goes into spacing as well, doing the right things on the floor as well as where your players position themselves on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Now, making the baskets, you go into you scoring the ball, but creating the space on the floor a lot of times goes into positioning too. Not just making it, but positioning. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if they can position themselves, then we have to work on them making the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I do like Edwards because I do believe that he is a go-getter, and I do believe he's a self-motivator, a self-starter. As that Guillermo always said, the self-starters. And I know he doesn't lack confidence. Clearly, he doesn't. If you look at him play the games, he does not lack confidence. Again, it was just the fear of me. It's just the fear of them being on the court together and them not having the spacing so that they can both do their thing. Because you want to draw up their best attributes, and it's like they're kind of the similar, kind of same player, kind of, but. Yeah, man, we're gonna see. Like I said, wherever we land, man. If we're in the top 3 and LaMelo somehow off the board, I wouldn't mind getting Edwards. I really wouldn't.
All right. So before I go on to the next person, I'm gonna come to Guillermo after this. Before I go on to Guillermo, let me ask you: if LaMelo and Anthony Edwards are both on the board, and the Knicks have a chance to draft either one, who you drafting?
Oh, LaMelo Ball. That's not a question for me.
Okay. All right. All right, we'll see. Let me get to Guillermo. Guillermo, what's going on,
what's
man?
Up, Sim?
What's up,
Sim?
man? All right, what's your take on Edwards?
I like Edwards, right? So Edwards is a dog. He has that inner fire in him. You watch him on that team. I say one bad thing about him is that, and this is a victim. He's a victim of circumstance, right? Where his team doesn't really have that much talent. So his shooting percentage, like right now, he's shooting like 39%, 29% from three, which is obviously terrible, and 40% field goal shooting. He's a good slasher. He gets to the basket. Sometimes something he does, he sometimes pick up his dribble a little bit too early. I feel like in the NBA that's going to get blocked. So he has to be able to maybe give you one or two more dribbles before he gets to the hoop. In college, it's a little bit easier because of the size. Sometimes speed, you could dominate certain players. But in the NBA, when you pick up your dribble and you're not exploding straight to the basket or just overly powerful, those layups are and attempts are going to get blocked. But I mean, that's my only real gripe. I mean, I know he's trying to shoot out, but I mean, the kid is shooting like 77% from the free throw. Yep. So obviously the form is there. I just feel like obviously the percentages are hurt a little bit just because he has to do that. So I think I don't think he's going to be a chuck when he gets to the NBA. He has solid defense. The kid plays hard, man. I like. Again, he's another intangible guy that I feel like. Look, if this was a stronger draft, if this was last year's draft, maybe he doesn't. He's probably not going to go top 3, maybe top 4, 5. But he's a guy that I feel like he has intangibles that if you pair him up with RJ, you're going to have. I mean, obviously you put RJ at the 3, or you have him interchangeable as guard 1, guard 2. But I feel like those two, when you're talking about defense, when you're talking about getting the ball in proper spaces, RJ could play. If you want to play him in sets where he's taking the ball, using the pick and roll passes, Edwards on the wing, Edwards shoots, or Edwards could drive from the wing, and they could do vice versa. Even though Edwards is not like really he's not that much. I don't think he has that much facilitating capacity as RJ does. Even though RJ is not a pure facilitator either, I think that they could learn from each other. Again, he's kind of as talented as he is, he's still a moldable clay, which is perfect for us. But he's the type of guy that you pair him with a guy like RJ, man, you can have a so-called backcourt or 2-3 pairing. You're going for years where people are going to fall at them because they have those leadership abilities. They have that dog in them. They have that fight in them. And this Knicks team, we talk about the Knoxes, we talk about some of these sulking type of players. You talk about the Randalls, who we say their attitude or their energy just seems off. Him and RJ, man, I'm not gonna sit and say they're gonna win 45 games next year, but don't be surprised if you pair those two guys and you're looking up halfway in the season and they're on pace for 40 games at tops. I'm just saying, because the way they play, man, those two guys play, man, you can galvanize around them. They're big. They're kind of big time. They feel like big time players, right? So I still got to do more scouting on Anthony Edwards for specifically game wise. But for what I've seen, or the scout reports I've seen from him, I think he'd be a perfect pair for the Knicks. So, but I doubt I don't know if we don't get one, we're definitely not going to get him. So.
Yeah, well, right. If we don't get one, I mean, but like Andy said, we have like a 37% chance of getting 1 through 4, something like that. So,
I just don't see the NBA, given how much they don't like Dolan. I just don't see them. I don't see us getting the wrinkled envelope. I know we don't do envelopes now, but I'm just saying I just don't see us getting that favor. But
the weighted ping pong ball. You think they're gonna wait? You think they put weights a weight in the Pelicans ping pong ball last year?
You think? What was it when the Cavaliers? It was that stupid. Didn't the Cavaliers get 4 picks within? Was it 4 first round? Yeah, come on, man, stop it.
But why would they want the Cavs? But why would they be trying to make the Cavs? Why would they want the Cavs to be?
Right. Yeah, because they probably knew. Thank you. And they probably knew LeBron was coming back, and they're like, look, because LeBron, we have to make LeBron the star of the NBA. We gotta just make sure there's some talent around him. And these idiots drafted Tristan Thompson. Even though I think at 4th, I think it was kind of weak anyway. But they could have drafted somebody better than Tristan. And they drafted Anthony Bennett. Like it's like that's probably why they stopped getting the number 1 picks. It's like, bro, you drafted Tristan Thompson and Anthony Bennett. And yes, that draft was weak, but I think that draft also had Giannis and it had Oladipo, if I remember right. So, I mean, yeah, the Knicks aren't going to get any favors. And then even if we get it, the person who's probably going to come up with the ball or whatever with the announcement, he's probably going to come sick and then they're going to change around. The Knicks are not getting. I fully believe there's a conspiracy theory against the Knicks. We're not getting it as long as Dolan is there. Now, if you get one of these woke business owners, you get like a Bezos who supports everything out the sun. then yeah, we're gonna get the number 1 draft pick. But as long as Dolan's there, nah, we ain't get help, man.
Well, I mean, hey, we had number 3 last year.
What does that mean? Don't get me wrong. I like RJ. I like RJ a lot, but we needed at least. Lakers should have been not. It shouldn't have not been around. Which I don't give a damn. Let's be honest. Let's stop with this. They got the number 4 pick. Once that number, I said this is some B. This just doesn't feel right to me. We get 3. If we had number 2,
But the percentages
Ja Morant is on the
said
Knicks,
that.
and Dolan would have his point guard of the future, and we would be sniffing probably. Actually, Fizz will still be here, so maybe not.
But the percentages had us being even. Most people look and say, "Oh, we were supposed to get number 1." No, we had what, a 14% chance or something like that of getting number 1, and like a 70% chance of being worse than the 4th pick or something like that. Like the percentages really were not in our favor last season, to be honest with you.
Were the percentages in freaking? Come on, the Pelicans, bro.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I know tanking doesn't work, but I know this is just me being facetious somewhat. So don't conspiracy. Shut up. I'm partially joking. But I'm just saying that we just don't. The Knicks slug just it ain't there, man. Something happened, man. Dolan didn't pay, certain people or whatever. He didn't give his praises or.
Listen.
Certain big people, but he ain't gonna get the
Dolan gave up the he did the funeral for David Stern.
Sim.
Okay, he paid for it.
Hey, Sim.
He paid for it.
That is a great point. But I would expect this. That is a great point, actually. But I would expect this, that the media outlets would start putting James Dolan in a more positive light, and for reasons good things actually did, right? And they still haven't. So I'm just saying. And I remember what's this guy's name? Adam Silver, the weirdo. He said that it's not his responsibility to make the Knicks better. I agree with what he's saying, but the tone in which he said it just felt so caustic and corrosive. It was like they really don't miss the Knicks. But
listen, he paid for David Stern's funeral. Rest in peace, David Stern. Right? He started the huge fund for all of the MSG employees. Right, where MSG donated $1 million, and then he donated $1 million, and then he was having $10 million, whatever it was. I don't know. I forgot how much it was, but so however many millions of dollars MSG donated, and then his family fund donated. So maybe he's in good graces. Maybe he's in good graces right now. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Aunt G, coming to you, man. Coming to you, Ant. Ant, what's your take on Anthony Edwards, man?
I was telling Guillermo, I said, I like Anthony Edwards. He's like my 1B behind LaMelo because of, I feel need a point guard. But I was saying he's either Deion Waiters or he's a superstar. Like, I think his career is going to go one or two ways. He's either going to they're going to look back and he was going to like a franchise changer, or he's going to be that tough scorer that is confident but not really great. So, but listen, we get Anthony Edwards, I'm throwing a party because he's one of the 2 or 3 guys that I feel like is a franchise changer in this draft.
Do you try to make a move to get up to that, let's say, first pick so that you can get him?
Absolutely. Who's the worst record right now? Golden State?
Golden State.
So let's put it like this, too. Let's say everything holds form and Golden State gets the first pick. They may not take Anthony Edwards anyway. Right? So I think it really depends on who's that first and second pick. Because Golden State may be more inclined to take a James Wiseman or Obi Toppin because they have their backcourt set. But if the team that has the first pick is intent on drafting Anthony Edwards, I'll make an offer. They can have our pick in Knox in a Dallas pick.
A lot of mock drafts have the Warriors, if they get as long as they get that first pick, taking Anthony Edwards.
That'd be such a waste to me, though.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they did the same thing. They took D'Angelo Russell. I mean, those those guys, they move at a different speed than other people, right? They're like, they're on a different plane in the way that they orchestrate things and try to collect talent. Look what they did with D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Right?
Like wouldn't James Wiseman be perfect there? Like that athletic, versatile big man that can block shots and rebound.
But think about it. Are the Golden State Warriors drafting to build, or are they really still in win now mode?
That's a good point.
Right? Because
right. But then if they are, I don't think there's nothing we can offer them. You know what I mean? Because if they're just looking for another piece for another championship run, they're gonna look for like another, impact player. But I don't think we can really offer them that.
Right, but right. I mean, I agree with you, right? But maybe, instead of taking someone that they feel can elevate to be a superstar, unless they don't feel that what's his name is going to come back fully healthy.
Right,
Klay Thompson is going to come back fully healthy, right? Maybe they're like, okay, well, we need someone to replace Klay Thompson. I don't know, right? But maybe instead they're like, you know what? Yeah, we could take the 5th or 6th pick and another player,
right?
To add to our cupboard of talent, So I don't know.
They're just very smart, and I'm afraid who that other player they're gonna want from us would be. I feel like they're gonna want a Mitch or something, and I don't think I want to do nothing like that. So I guess it depends on the asking price. Because
right.
and it depends on where we are. Like if we have like the 4th pick, I may play my luck and see if LaMelo falls to us.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let me get over here.
Yeah,
let me get to Mark.
Yeah, I like him.
Let me get to Mark, and then after Mark, we're gonna go to Deni. All right. And we'll get some other opinions. Mark, talk to me, man.
Listen, he is the number 1 pick. That's why it's like, with me, it's like, if you get the number 1 pick, you take him, because everybody, I'm hearing people say he can't shoot. The dude could shoot the basketball, man. He can catch and shoot. The dude played numerous of off-ball this season. I watched all his games. The only thing with the dude, what he has to learn is passing the ball a little sooner sometimes. But he has great vision. He learns from his mistakes. The kid has high character. He just know what he's doing. He know who he is on the floor. He's good on defense. The kid could score on all 3 levels, man. There's nothing that he cannot do on the floor, period. Period. He is the number 1 prospect. The dude runs. I've watched games where the dude get the ball and he's already in transition. That is something Knicks need, man. Jesus Christ. He gets the ball and gets to the basket.
So let me ask you this. You say, listen, he can shoot the ball. He has the ability.
No,
what do you get? He shoots 29% from 3, though.
I don't care. Listen, I don't care.
What do you attribute that to? What do you attribute that to?
Huh?
He shoots 29% from 3. Why?
Do you see that roster? He another thing, early in the season, he took bad shots, and then throughout the season, he start taking select shots. His problem was in the beginning of the college season, he took bad shots. So that's one of the reasons why he shoots bad. But the dude can shoot. Just watching him, he can shoot. He can shoot. Okay, so and to have him and RJ with the pedigree that they have, oh my God, it just reminds me of like Jaylen Brown and Tatum. You just put 2 of those, and it's gonna work. It's just gonna work because Edwards don't need the ball as much as people think he does, because the coach who he had this year had him playing a lot of off ball this season. He even talks about it. You go look on YouTube, and he did an interview with the ESPN guy that are doing interviews with the top 5 draft pick. And if you just watch that, you will see how intelligent this kid is and
No,
how
listen, I've watched a bunch of his games. I've watched a bunch of his games. I see everything, that this kid is and what he could be when he makes it to the NBA. As a matter of fact, do you know the reason why he chose Georgia?
No, I don't know.
He chose Georgia because Tom Crean, the head coach,
he coached Dwayne Wade.
He coached Dwayne Wade and he coached Victor Oladipo.
Yes,
right? And so, he chose him because, this guy has a history of coaching shooting guards that went to the NBA. I want to be coached by that guy. Mm-hmm. 2 all-star shooting guards in the NBA.
You know what's so crazy?
Smart kid.
You know what's so crazy? Even if he wasn't going to be this superstar, he would be as good as Jimmy Butler in the league. That's how good he is. Like, he will be as good as Jimmy Butler in the league.
He's going to be good. He's going to be good.
He's going to be good because, number one, he's NBA. His body's already NBA ready, man.
Yeah.
The dude is a force, man. And to have him and RJ, one at the 2 guard and one at the small forward, they can play off each other because RJ, people think RJ's ball dominant, ball centric. No, he's not. He likes when the ball moves around. He likes when the team plays like a team. He never played ball centric. Duke is about passing the ball and the team being together. Even when you look back in the RJ games and they talk to him, he always talk about the ball movement, the passing the ball. That's what he likes to play. And to have him on there with him and to run the floor with him, listen, 6'5" and 6'8" at my shooting guard and small forward, they're gonna be able to guard the perimeter. And the Knicks can't guard the perimeter. The Knicks can't guard the perimeter. So Edwards will fill a lot of the Knicks' need because you know what I was thinking, Sim? I would just say, go find a point guard in free agency or try to get one, try to use one of those Dallas picks, get one of these veteran point guards, and then you build from there. But if we got the number 1 pick, you don't pass up on Edwards because he don't have no weakness. Watch him. He really doesn't. He really, really doesn't. He really, really doesn't. The only way his game is gonna stop is because of him. But other than that, I don't think he has no weakness on the floor whatsoever. He gets his spots. He's very evasive. He's strong. He moves off the ball very, very well. He's quick and he's bouncy, and he has the IQ to pass the ball.
No, he's a stud, man. He's a stud. When he's gonna he's a stud. And Stop Video said, mentioned the fact that Anthony Edwards just started playing basketball 4 years ago. Yes, because he did play. He played running back. He was like the number 1 running back when he was in middle school, whatever. He was like the number 1 running back in the nation. He's just uber super talented. You know what I mean? Just uber talented. But hey, Mark, let me get to talking about Deni, and then I'm gonna get to some phone calls, and I'll get back to the chat. All right. Anthony Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be a good one. Will we get there? I don't know. But let's talk about Deni Avdija. All right. Deni Avdija. He's 6'9". He's a 6'9" forward, ladies and gentlemen. And caller, give me 1 second. All right, I'll get to you. He's a 6'9" forward, weighs 215 pounds. Played for Maccabi Tel Aviv. International professional. All right. He's been playing professional ball for quite some time. He's 19 years old. Just turned 19 years old about 3 months ago. Now, you see, for his stats, I don't have many stats for him. And here's the reason why I don't have many stats for him. I don't have many stats for him because, and I could have put some stats up there. But in the Euro leagues, they play in so many different leagues. And so you'll see some stats from this league. You'll see some stats from that league. And there'll be 2 totally or 3 totally different stats. Sometimes it's because they have different teams. They pick up different players for different leagues, right? So it's structured differently than it is in the United States. So I don't have any stats up there for him because I couldn't find anything that was consistent to say this is what he averages. Everything was he averaged this in this league, he averaged this in that league, this in that league. Okay? So that's why you don't see any stats up there for the kid. But let's talk about him just a little bit. Things that I did see when I watched him play. All right, I watched some highlights and I watched him play on, I watched a couple of full games on YouTube. You can go catch a couple of full games. This is what I see about him. He's 6'9". He's kind of a point forward. All right, he likes to get his teammates involved. Right? He doesn't have a lot of moves, but he has enough burst to get to the basket and create for other players that are rolling with him to the basket. It may not be off of a pick and roll, but guys who know how to cut the same way that he's going to the basket, so he hits them on an angle to the cut. All right, and he passes well. He's 6'9", he passes well. He has good court vision. Right, when he's making plays for others, he has good court vision. If you're cutting to the basket and he has the ball, he'll find you. He will find you, all right? He has a good basketball IQ. He sees and understands the game. Smart player. All right, he is a smart player. He's got versatility. He's 6'9". He can play the small forward. He can play the power forward. Right, and if you're really playing small ball, I don't know, he's 215 pounds. Maybe you're not going to put him at center if you're really playing small ball. But I guess you could use him there from time to time. All right, so he has versatility, and he's a hard worker. I'll give him that. I watched him play, playing defense. He works hard. He scraps and he hustles. A lot of guys that come from the Euro leagues, they play in leagues where scrapping and hustling is what you do. All right, it's what you do. But then there are some weaknesses that may call him into question. Some weaknesses, some needs of development. One is competition, right? And that's always going to be the question about players coming from overseas. Is the competition the same? Is it the same level of competition? Some people will say, well, he's been playing professional basketball. Others will say, yeah, well, that professional basketball isn't like playing in the NBA. Or they'll say, yeah, but that professional basketball, those players aren't even as good as our college players. I don't know if that's exactly true, though. Right? Because when you think about it, let's talk about Anthony Edwards. How many of the players that Anthony Edwards played against or played with on his team are going to be in the NBA? Very little. How many of those players are going to end up overseas? A good number. Take it or leave it for what it's worth. But that's how it happens. And when you look at these teams overseas, they're not all made up of players that are European players. A lot of these teams, 50% of them, come from the United States. Played in the NBA. Right? So if you say, well, yeah, such and such plays on his team, or he played against this person and that person, but they're not in the NBA for a reason. Well, yeah, but the guys in college aren't in the NBA either. And only a handful of them are going to make it to the NBA. So, but still, the competition level, we don't know. It's hard to say. You get some players that, come from overseas and they come into the league and bam. Right there, they take off, and then some players, it takes a while to adjust. We'll see. So the competition is a question. He's not really athletic or explosive. Okay? All right, he's not athletic. He's not explosive. So you don't look for that from him. Right? He's gonna play a different style of basketball. He has some erratic shooting. When I seen him from different leagues, one league, he's shooting 55% from the field. Another league, he's shooting 42% from the field. One league, he's shooting 37% from three. Another one, he's shooting 28% from three. All right, so it's kind of erratic. Which one is really him? Obviously, he's only 19 years old, so we don't know. It's going to take some time. All right, it's going to take some time, but he can shoot it. He has the ability to shoot it, and we'll see which one sticks. And then, of course, there's the upside. You know, listen, he's 19 years old. He's going to have some years where he develops, and he's going to get better and better and better. But where's he land? You know, if you know, a lot of, you know, some mock drafts got him in the top 3. Some got him in the top 6. I mean, if he's top 5, do you think he's going to be an all-star? He's going to be a role player. You know? So, you know, that's as much as and that's just from what I've seen of him. You know, that's about 2 basketball games, 2.5 basketball games, and some highlights. That's Deni Avdija. Now, he's a 3-man. Some people say, you know, is not a position of need. Depends on where do we think RJ is going to be in the long run? Where does the team think RJ is going to be in the long run? Is this guy 3 or 4? He's 6'9". He can play either position. Right? So, if you're thinking about pairing him with RJ, are you gonna pair it with him at the 4 and RJ at the 3, or with RJ at the 2 and him at the 3? Deni at the 3. It's the question. I don't know. If he's on the board and there's a point guard on the board, if he's on the board and Obi's on the board, I'm going with Obi. If he's on the board and LaMelo's on the board, obviously I'm going with LaMelo. I don't know, man. I don't know a whole lot about him. That's about all that I know about him. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, before I get to my video chat, and Ishmael Rivas said, Deni is the next Larry Bird. Y'all sleep on the boy. Come on, man. Don't even put that on the kid. The next Larry Bird, don't put that on the kid. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. But anyway, before I get back to my video chat, in about 20 minutes, I'll be doing an album review of Cormega's album, Mega. So make sure you join me, all right? Make sure that you join me. It's on the Front Stoop. If you're not following the Front Stoop, or if you're not subscribed to the Front Stoop, subscribe now. The link is in the description of this video, and I just put the link in the YouTube chat. Make sure you go subscribe right now, because as soon as I'm done here, we're going on over there, and we're going to break down that Cormega album. All right? I'm going to get to some of these guys that's here in the chat, and I see someone say Deni is better than Obi. You know what? He could be. I don't know. I don't know a lot about him. You know, I know more about the guys that are in the States. I don't know a whole lot about him. And I guess I could have looked and tried to dig a little bit deeper too. He could be. I'm not, you know, he could be. Is he going to be the next Larry Bird? Come on, bro. Larry Bird is, come on, man. Larry Bird was just phenomenal. He wasn't athletic. Wasn't, you know, but he was just up here, was just head and shoulders above everybody else. Larry Bird seen it 4 or 5 plays down the line. Larry Bird? Come on, man. Be careful with that one. Be careful with that one. Rob the Nick is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Smash said another Hazonia. Could be that too. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to come to Andy first, because Andy might know a little bit more about him than anybody else. Andy, I'm going to come to you. All right. Andy, can you tell us a little bit about Deni?
Sim. I was telling the guys in the chat. I was high on Deni. I wanted to see his game live when the Israeli team was playing in Poland. I went to the game, but he didn't suit up for the game even, and that's because of the coach's decision. Meanwhile, I got the chance to see David Blatson play the point guard for the Israeli team. But going back to Deni. I don't want to be a bad omen for him or something like that, but he's a great prospect. just not for the Knicks. He's gonna be good, but down the line, maybe like in more than 5 years, from what I saw from him. He's coming off the bench in his current team. It's a good team, right? But he's coming off the bench for him. He's no Luka Doncic. That's no way that's going to happen in a couple of years here in Europe, from what I see. And like you said, most of the things he does good, only except like the court vision and the IQ. I don't think the rest is going to translate to the NBA to be true. He plays a bit of a low post game, but because he's bigger than the other guys, but he's like taller, right? He doesn't have the body strength, the body ain't NBA ready, and it's hard to be right at 8, 19 years old. Also the speed is there only when he goes running down the lane straight. He doesn't have the lateral quickness. He doesn't have, like that quickness, like the first step. It's not there. It's not, at least it's not at the NBA level, right? Other thing is he doesn't finish strong around the rim. Basically, it's layups. Of course, if he's on the open floor, he can dunk it. But he's in the crowd, he's gonna do those fancy layups, from both sides of the rim. But it's I don't think that's gonna be a good thing in NBA. The guys are gonna just pin it to the backboard. So he's gonna have a rude awakening for that. Also, with his shooting, like you said, the consistency isn't there. If you want a guy that's gonna shoot like Frank, I don't know if that's a pick you make at the 6th position in this draft. I think I would take several players ahead of Deni, and that's also me saying like a Knicks fan, right? We know that in Knickland you can't wait 6 years for a guy to pan out. We all know that. After the 2nd year, we are trashing dudes. So that's not the place for a guy like Deni.
Exactly.
He can probably fit in a Minnesota, Sacramento type. Those first years, he's gonna be, he's gonna have an easy transition with a small market, and not big, media stuff around him. I think that's his only way he's gonna succeed in the NBA.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think? So what kind of team do you think is gonna pick him up? What would be a good fit for him?
Yeah, you know what? I'm really curious how overly this draft is gonna pan out, because even if they move it right later on to the year, not gonna do the lottery now and just move it, let's say, to August, right? But still, the teams they miss the March Madness. That's the most important thing for the scouts, because that's the big games for most of the players, right? Because most of the players come from the NCAA. The international scouting was done, and they had only missed 2-3 games here in Europe. So they had Deni scouting already wrapped up. I think we're gonna see plenty of teams pick wild guys. Like when you see in the mock someone is in the 20s, he's gonna be picked in the top 10. That's why it's hard to see when he's gonna be picked. But only teams that can afford a prospect to be in a couple of years, and I mean 4 at least, can pick him. So I don't know, that's someone that maybe an Orlando type, but they're not that high enough so to pick those teams. So I didn't even look in it to be true. Someone who can pick maybe a Minnesota. But they traded for D'Angelo, so maybe they want to go a little bit higher now. Maybe Detroit. Detroit are going to fall still, I think. They got a mess there. But then again, Detroit picked, they have Blake Griffin. They picked Sekou Demboya, so I think maybe they're going to stick with those guys. It's really hard to see a place for him at this current NBA. Of course, if they're going to pick him, they're going to bring him to the States. It's not like they're going to stash him in Europe.
Right.
But I'm not sure what team can gamble on him.
Yeah. In no way you pick a guy top 10 and you stash him.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
The Knicks did it though, didn't they? Couple
of times, probably.
Wait a minute. when they drafted what's it called over on our test?
Frederick Weiss.
Frederick Weiss. What number was that?
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was pretty high. I think top 10, maybe. I don't think he set a foot in the NBA.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He never stepped into the NBA. Oh, he was the 15th pick. 15th pick.
Yeah, the 15th.
Right.
Also, not that high, but still a guy you'd like to at least contribute as a body in the training camp.
Exactly. 15th pick. You like the guy to, yeah, exactly. But let me see who else we got in there. I'm trying to get to Rob the Nick, but it looks like Rob is having a conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, you can give me a call, man. I got enough time for a couple of phone calls. 516-405-2246. Give me a call. All right, and let me know what you think about these guys. But your comments got to be quick, man. You got about 1 or 2 minutes to make your comments, and then we got to roll because I got about 10 minutes before I got to be on the front stoop, and I'm expecting you guys to be on the front stoop with me as we go over this called Mega Album or EP. It's actually an EP. All right, caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's popping, Uncle Sim? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
Good. Savon. Yeah, I think this is right now our next move got to be our best move. We gotta make a good decision on who we're gonna try to draft. Where we get the position that we get, and maybe even think about trying to package one of those Dallas picks to try to, or even both of them, to try to pick up 2 people. Because what if we get the number 1 pick or 2 pick and Edwards is there? Do we try to move up to get LaMelo or something like that? What do you think about something like that?
You said if we get the number 1 pick and then we try to move up to get both of those guys?
Right. Try to get 2 of these guys out of this draft that we feel, if we feel like we get lucky enough, we see that we like 2 people, why not try to move up and try to get 2 people and see, go with a more of a youth movement and see what we can do and package, get as many assets and young players that we can as possible.
Right. Would you move both of those picks?
If I felt it was right, I think I would. If we feel like if we can get Edwards and we can get the point guard and we can get LaMelo, I think that would be the move to do if we can get both of those guys.
Let me tell you something.
I wouldn't even mind getting LaMelo and Deni Avdija, honestly, to play at the 4. I feel like with him, LaMelo, and RJ, it'd be a nice, good, basketball IQ guys on the floor, that can pass the ball, move the ball. Got to work on the shooting, but, that can always be developed. But they are good, basketball IQ guys.
Now, one of those draft picks are a few years off, right? Another one is next summer. Next summer is supposed to be better than this year.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We have to really look into, trying to fill out the roster the right way. You know what I mean? Because there's Cade Cunningham coming out next year, Evan Mobley. Those are some top picks, but the draft isn't. A lot of these drafts in the next couple of years aren't that high. High volume, good players. You know what I mean? So we got to make a selection. Or are we going to go try to make these picks and go with a youth movement, or try to move these players and picks for a more reliable, stable veteran? I think we should go with the youth and see what we can get out of them.
Well, I mean, they should always definitely go with the youth. I just feel like those draft picks next year. In 21. I don't know. The picks coming out, are they going to be players who can come out of high school in 21?
I'm not sure yet. How that's going to work. When is that actually really coming into effect? But that's what I'm saying. I feel like we gotta hit, and we've been doing pretty good on the drafting. So I feel like if we feel confident enough that we see 2 good players that we can feel that can mesh together and mesh with RJ and Mitch, I feel like we should try to make that move.
That's a big move, man. You gotta
start somewhere. Why not start? You gotta start with some young players, some assets. You can't well, you gotta. That's been our best. That's actually been our best thing lately. It's been the drafting. Like you can talk about Knox and Ntilikina not being that good, but they're solid players. They project players that got a little promise to them. Freer has a little promise to him. We know Mitch is good. We know RJ is pretty good. We've been pretty good, so I think we should try to stick to the drafting and try to find more players in the draft because we've been doing a solid job doing it.
Okay. Well, you know what? We got three picks this year. See what's up. But hey, Davon, I appreciate your call, man. I'm gonna try to get to a couple other calls before I get off. I appreciate you holding on for the amount of time you did.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, man.
All right, have a good night. I'll see you.
All right, peace. I don't know, Andy. Would you trade that 21 pick?
To get up? It depends how many spots and for who. That's for sure. Yeah. Not for Deni.
Yeah. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Oh, sure.
So what's your take on these two guys, Anthony Edwards and Deni?
Yeah, Deni's garbage. I don't want. We got a guy who we just got from the Wizards who plays better than he does in the EuroLeague. I mean, no, that's okay.
Oh, you say we got a guy? Oh, who? Say that again?
The Knicks. They got that Yusuf Sanan from Washington, and if you look at his stats in the EuroLeague against his are better. And
stats don't, bro. I mean, so how come he hasn't? So why hasn't he stepped foot in the NBA yet?
I don't know. That I don't know about politics and all that. I just I go by. I was looking at the numbers, and the numbers said what they said. So that's
well.
As far as I
then if that's
that.
the case, my daughter averaged 18 points and 7 rebounds this year. So they might as well go ahead and give her a call.
I get your point, but Anthony Edwards, I think if we're not getting Melo, I get Anthony Edwards. I mean, we get the number one, you go Edwards. Anything else, I don't think he's going past one. So, but I just wanted to touch real quick, and then I'll hang up.
All right.
You hear that rumor with Utah?
I seen I seen the little rumor about Donovan Mitchell and what's his name not getting along. I guess we'll see where that goes. And then of course, the first thing people are gonna say is, well, the Knicks need to try to trade for Donovan Mitchell. Or I did see in the the report that where someone said that maybe the Knicks would trade Mitchell Robinson for Rudy Gobert. Mitchell Robinson, Bobby Portis, and whoever else for Rudy Gobert.
No, that's kind. I wouldn't do that. But
nah, I don't want Rudy Gobert. I'm not really interested in Rudy Gobert.
If we got a fourth pick, we got the fourth pick or the sixth pick. Let's say we got the sixth pick, like everybody thinks. Would you package it for Donovan Mitchell if possible?
Would I package the sixth pick for Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, if the rumors are true and he wants out.
I think they'll get rid of Rudy Gobert before they get rid of Donovan Mitchell. So I don't think Donovan Mitchell's going anywhere. Would I package the sixth pick? Probably, but I don't think Donovan Mitchell's going anywhere.
Yeah, you got a point. I'm bored. I just wanted to mix it up. So
yeah,
everybody have a good night.
All right, man. All right, later. All right, one more call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, Sim, how you doing, my man? How's everything?
I'm good, bro. Now, ladies and gentlemen, apparently this is not the same guy.
No.
Right? But they kind of sound alike. I don't know. Maybe they're related. Maybe they're brothers. So? Maybe they're cousins. But you sound a little bit alike.
No. Yeah, you think so? I don't know. I don't think we sound
a little bit.
Similar.
You guys sound a little bit alike. And you always happen to call like right at one after each other.
That's funny, then. Yeah,
Somehow, some way it happens that way.
definitely a coincidence then, but I definitely have different points. Actually, the call I think 2 calls ago, that was the only thing that's keeping me sane as a Knicks fan is knowing we have 2 first-round picks next year and the best draft in like 15 years. So I'm not trading none of those picks for nobody. I'm not trading those next year's. I would trade this year's pick, but next year's picks, no way. That's the only thing that's keeping me excited as a Knicks fan right now is next year's draft. So I'm not trading nothing, no picks from next year's draft.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I just actually wanted to talk about Edwards. I don't like that fit here, man. Him and RJ, we just drafted a shooting guard 3rd overall that can shoot. We're gonna draft another one that's shot 40% from the field and 29% from 3.
I mean,
we need shot makers, man, not shot takers.
I get it, but I think his talent. I think his talent is off the charts, man. And you just can't. You can't. His talent and what he can do, and maybe he can be a guy that changes your franchise around. I think you work out the kinks. If you have a chance to get him and you still have RJ, I think you work out the kinks. You find a way to work out the kinks later. Yeah, but it's like, like everyone's saying RJ should be a 3. Why do you think we're saying RJ should not be a 2? Well, I think defensively he's not going to be able to chase 2s around for his entire career.
Yeah, right. And the shooting,
that's going to be a problem
that's why
for him.
I think people say, he can't be a 2 because he's not a shooter. I think he would be best as a 3. Maybe let it run some point forward at certain times.
Listen, I think RJ is going to develop.
Man. Like, there's no shooting at the top of this draft. The shooting, it's a few guys I like, but they're in the team. So I don't know. I wouldn't even mind trading down if we got like the 6th pick. There's a few shooters, but the shooters are in the teens, like 12 to 16 range. There's a kid, Sadiq Bey, who shot 46% from 3.
Yeah, I know about that kid. He's from.
I know about that
kid.
I want either Nate Smith, who shot 52% from 3. Like, we need shooters here, man.
Nah, I feel you. But I think, like I was saying to Isaiah earlier, I don't think I understand that we need shooting. We do, right? We definitely need shooting. But in the position that we're in, I don't think you can afford to overlook talent because you say, well, we need shooting. You get it? Like, for example, let's just say, how crazy would this be if the Knicks had the 3rd pick and Anthony Edwards ended up being available at the 3rd pick, and they said, well, we're not going to take Anthony Edwards because Sadiq Bey can shoot it, and we need shooting. Right? That would be crazy.
Last year he didn't impress me last year, Edwards, or this year. He's very lazy on defense. He's not a shooter at this stage. Like, I know, like, to me, that might even be a bigger need than point guard. Like, we gotta have some shooters, and the shooters are in the team, in the 12 to 16 range. Those are the guys I want, to be honest with you.
Well, then we can. Well, then we have to.
Sadiq Bey. You need shooting, man.
Well, we have the 27th pick. We can try to do something with the 27th pick, but when you have one of those top picks, you got to get the talent. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the talent. You can worry about the shooting because there's guys around the league that make the veterans minimum that can shoot it. You can find shooting. As a matter of fact, you can find specialists that they get paid the veterans minimum to be a shooting specialist, but
these
otherworldly
kids, they're
talent.
Also very good defenders, the Bays, the Naismiths. These kids, I love those. Those 2 kids, man. Like, say we got the 7th pick, right? I wouldn't even mind taking one of them 2, even though they're projected to go around 13, 14 or so, or trade down a little bit. Maybe get another. I don't know. I just want shooting here so bad. And those are, the Bay and Nate Smith, those are the 2 best shooters by far in this draft. To me, that's a better fit than a Halliburton, who I don't like that much. I don't love many of these point guards either. Besides Ball, I'm just not feeling it, man. Like, I would rather pick 13 or 14 and get one of those shooters. That's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, I feel you, man.
Not no general manager or nothing, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Just
hey, look, I got to get up out of here, man. Because I got to get to the front stoop. All right?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
I definitely appreciate your call. All right,
All right,
now
thanks, man.
it looks like now
All right,
I'm going to
man.
be getting onto the front stoop about 12:15, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so you know I'm actually changing the time right now, so make sure that you check me over there. And someone else calling in, I'm not going to be able to get to that phone call at the moment. All right, I do want to give a couple of shout outs though. I want to shout out my man Ghost Rider. Says salute to you, my brother. Thank you for the super chat. And then Uptown Twan, thank you for the super chat. You have a good question. You said, I heard if the NBA season doesn't come back this year, the Clippers pick we own goes back to them. Does anyone know if this is true? I doubt that that's true. I mean, if the Clippers pick goes back to them, then Marcus Morris needs to come back to us. Right? I mean, there's no way I can see that happens. Have you heard anything like that, Andy?
No, I don't think I heard it. The only thing I heard that the NBA Players Association were talking with the NBA, and they are even willing to restart the season, maybe not restart, resume the season at August 1st and go with it almost till the end of September. I don't know when would the next season start, because I don't think they can have such a short break between training camps and stuff like that. But that's the last word I heard.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen there. I don't know what's gonna happen there. But I will say, no way that I can see that we would have to give back the pick. That would be
no. I don't think
crazy.
that would be by any chance, and any party even would be interested in that.
Yeah,
I don't think that could happen.
But well, I'm about to get up out of here, man, and tell these guys to join me over on the front stoop, so we can check out this album. Big Freezy, thank you for the super chat. You said great show. Thank you, Freezy. I appreciate that. And I'm expecting to see you on the front stoop, Freezy. Freezy's always on the front stoop. So I'm hoping that you're going to join us on the front stoop tonight. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the link to the front stoop is in the description of this video. All right, so you can head over there right now. I'll be on there about 12:15 as I get things set up. All right, and I'm also putting the link to the front stoop in the YouTube chat right now. So you can go ahead over there and then subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. All right. Moon Vision, sorry I didn't get you on, man, but join us again. Subscribe to the channel and join us again, and I'll make sure I get you on in a phone call, all right? I did see your message. All you got to do is call in, but obviously I can't always get to everybody. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I will catch you guys in about 15 minutes over on the front stoop. Again, the link is in the description of this video. I just put the link in the YouTube chat. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful with yourself. All right. Talk to you soon. Peace.